we go. That's some little happy music for us today on this beautiful Wednesday evening. From Bern, Switzerland to the world. This is Conversations with Jessica. I am Jessica Lockhart and I am talking about humanology and more specifically about personal spheres. What they mean, what they are, and how to handle them. As we were saying right before, listening to the music, our personal spheres are unbreachable and unbreakable. What does that mean? That means that nobody can put anything inside of your personal sphere. And if that is so, why, oh, why do we insist so much and try to convince everyone that what we think is the right thought, that our opinions and beliefs are the right ones, that what is within our own personal spheres, what everybody else should have in their personal spheres? We spend many hours in our lives trying to convince others of things that we believe, and we try and put our beliefs and convictions inside within their personal spheres. But let me tell you something. You are banging your head against the wall. Nobody can put anything inside anybody else's personal sphere. They are completely unbreakable. If you try to put something into someone's sphere, for example, I am a mother. Well, yes, I am. I have two children. Now I have a young son and a teenage daughter. I've always tried to teach my children to keep their rooms tidy. I'm sure the mothers and fathers out there will sympathize with my message. It's the typical thing. You should have your room tidy. Please tidy up. Please clean after yourself. Please keep things in order. This is a big mess. How many times have you asked them to do that? How many times do we recall people, we remind people that they have to do things and they still don't do them and they still forget and they still do nothing? How many times have you tried to convince someone of something you believe? You try it over and over and over again, and at the end, you know what happens? You feel absolutely, totally frustrated. It doesn't work. There's no way you're going to put that idea into the other person's personal sphere until they decide to make it their own. Yes, I have the experience that I've been telling my children to keep their room tidy and organized for many years, but it hasn't been until they were in a situation in which tidiness and cleanliness mattered to them that they took that idea and made it their own. Yes, people can learn by watching others, but they will not make an idea theirs. They will not put it inside their personal spheres until they choose to do so. You can tell someone something over and over and over again. The moment they decide that that is a worthy idea, that they want to believe that they want to feel something, that they want to think something, then they themselves will put it inside their personal spheres. Everything you have in your personal sphere is because you put it there sometime in your life. Your beliefs. You are the one who deduced those beliefs. Go back to my conversations with Jessica when we spoke about beliefs, and you will remember that beliefs are created by us. All those feelings, I just explained it. All your memories, who created those memories? You did, didn't you? Your wishes, your fears, everything is there because you decided to put it inside one day. So, you have all those things inside your personal sphere. What does that mean? Well, that means that everything that you have inside your personal sphere makes you the you that you are. Yes, the contents, the intangible assets within your personal sphere are what make you you, are what make you the singularly perfect, unique human being that you are. Nobody has the exact same personal sphere you have. Nobody has the same contents. Not even your twins. Not even your siblings. No one does. And those contents within your personal sphere are the ones you choose to have. Isn't personal sphere An intriguing, interesting concept. But there's more. We're talking about your personal sphere, your intangible assets, that your personal sphere is unbreakable. But then, how does this help you? Well, once you understand that you have your own personal sphere with your own intangible assets and that nobody can enter that personal sphere, you might realize that you can't enter anybody else's either. You can't tell anyone what to think or what to feel or how to behave or nothing. It's not in your power. So stop bothering, stop frustrating yourself. But there's a third type of personal sphere that I would like to mention today. We have my personal sphere, we have the personal sphere of others, each one with theirs. And then in humanology, we talk about another personal sphere that is the world's personal sphere. People, when I say the world's personal sphere, don't really understand what I mean by that. So let me explain it a little bit. Some people call it the sphere of the world, the sphere of nature, the divine sphere, the sphere of God. Well, you can call it whatever you want. It really means all those situations, things that happen outside of you that have an impact upon you. For example, the weather is in the sphere of the world. If I get up in the morning and I look through the window and it's raining, I look at the rain and I might feel like, I'm not happy about this. I wanted to go hiking today. Or just the opposite, I might feel like, yay, it's raining. I can't do the gardening today. Or I might feel like, oh, it's raining. Okay. The sphere of the world is out there. There's nothing I can do about it. It does affect me because I have to interpret whatever is out there that is affecting me, that is in contact with me, but I have no power over it. So, whenever we work with personal spheres in humanology, we always try and help people understand that there are these three spheres: your own, the sphere of other human beings, and the sphere of the world, because how we handle those spheres, how we stay within our sphere, how we relate to the other spheres, will clearly mark the way in which we relate to the rest of the world. So let's listen to another happy song now, so you can take everything in, relax a little bit, and enjoy listening to Conversations with Jessica. Have fun! was a very nice little song, really motivational and inspiring, wasn't it? You know, I love happy music. Whenever I listen to happy music, it uplifts me and it makes me feel good. That's why I always try and look for happy songs for you to share with you here on Conversations with Jessica. Conversations with Jessica is, as you know, this humanology radio show where we talk about human beings, trying to understand who we are. And that is through the four basic elements of the human being. Today we're talking about personal spheres. We are explaining what they are and how to handle them in order to understand how we relate with other human beings and with the rest of the world. Let me remind you that you have the opportunity to win a copy, a free copy of my little children's book, Caribou, a story about fear, about abandonment, about feeling lonely. If you want to get a chance and win my free copy of Caribou today, you just have to do something very simple. You have to answer a very simple question. You just have to answer that question through the chat here on Coach on Fire or by email, or you can also use my messenger on Facebook Live now. The question is, can you name one of the intangible assets in your personal sphere? The first person to answer the question will get this free copy of Caribou. So I was telling you before I played the last tune that human beings have their own personal sphere where they treasure everything that belongs only to them. All of us have our own personal spheres. So I have my own, you have your own. There's nothing I can do about your personal sphere. I can't enter it. I can't put nothing inside. And there's nothing you can do about mine. But there's a third sphere, which is the sphere of the world. Everything that happens outside of us, everything, for example, if you're walking in the street and there's a car accident right in front of you, that is in the sphere of the world. And that is going to affect you because you are witnessing it, for example. But how you choose to deal with that is within your personal sphere. And then when I explain the concept of personal spheres to people, sometimes people say, okay, so if you say there's nothing I can do about other people's personal spheres, if I can't put anything inside, if I can't tell people to put something inside their personal spheres and I can't put anything there, how can I help people grow? How can I teach people anything? How can I really help other human beings? You know, I gave you the example a few minutes ago of children and parents, and how parents try to teach their children what should be done and what should not be done. How parents try to teach their children their principles, their beliefs, and sometimes children accept what their parents are offering them and put them into their own personal spheres. For example, imagine if one of my values is honesty, I might tell my children how important honesty is for me. They might listen to me, ponder about it, and decide, yeah, I agree with my mom.